Hello everyone, I am Monica from IELTS 9. You can see this reading name, Children's Literature. Okay, so this reading was part of March 2023 exam and 2nd September 2023 exam. It means this reading passage was repeated, and you can see this reading we will be doing. One thing I want to say here, if you do this reading passage thoroughly with me, definitely you will improve your reading scores. I can give you 100% guarantee. Just thoroughly understand how I am telling you how to find answers, how to find locations with the help of keywords, and for some fill in the blanks also you will get difficulty in finding. So how they are paraphrasing the things, I will explain you everything. So here let's see what kind of questions are there. First is complete the table with no more 2 words. Second is look at the following look at the following people and list of statements. It means list of people is there. You can see list of people question is there. And third type of question is true false not given. It means sometimes in reading passage 1 also they used to give these 3 types of question. Okay, I will start my reading only with first type of question, that is complete the table below. See this, complete the table below. Okay, yes, one promise I want from you, that after finishing this video and after learning something, please subscribe and motivate me by liking and commenting on this video. Okay, thank you so much in advance. So let's start this reading. Choose no more than 2 words. It's really important to read the instruction, although I know that you have already read these instructions so many times, but still sometimes there may be some changes. Okay, so no more than 2 words. Yes, we have boxes 1 to 5. So this is table. So when we are going to find the this fill in the blanks, of course we will read according to these columns. Date, features, aim, example. So my first keyword is before 1700. I will not be reading this because there is no blank here. So I will straight away, so because we don't know whether this location, this table location is starting from where. So first I will find this location, this word, and second I will find this by the middle of 18th century. So for 18th century, middle of 18th century, it is not necessary that they will be using this 18th century. It may be like that they may use the word middle of the 18th century, means 1745 or 50. So 17th century means 18th century. 1845 is written, it means they will be talking about 19th century. Got it? So this is my keyword, so I will have to erase this, otherwise you will think this is blank. So I will first find this location and then this and then this and then this, then coming to this location. Okay, 19th century. So first I will go to 17th and middle of 18th century. I will just find it, then I will read this and this. I am showing full reading passage. You can see this first A paragraph, so I can see this word. I am looking for 18th century. Nothing, 18th century, same word is there. Okay, by the same word is there, we were looking for 18th century, they were enough. Okay, now I will read the thing. Collection of dash and games. Collection of dash and games. Okay, so I was looking for games. Enough parents glad to cater to this books whose first aim was pleasure rather than education or morality. In Britain, London merchant names. Okay, this the famous John Nervy. So side by side please do underlining or circle the things, whatever you think that it is important. Okay, so I was looking for collection of games. Games word is here. See this. So its content rhymes, stories, children games. So children game is there. It means these 2 things we can write it, rhymes and stories. So and is not there because we can write 2 words. So I will be writing here rhymes, comma stories, because and is already given. So we will not be writing anything. Rhymes, stories, rhymes, comma stories. Now second blank, read for pleasure. That word we have read. A little pretty pocketbook exported to. Exported means to some, exported to India, exported to China. So these kinds of things, some country or place name will be there. A little pretty pocketbook in 1974. It contains this and this. In many ways anticipated the similar lucky dip contents of children's annual this century. It is a tribute to this formula quite so quickly winning formula to be pirated among all immediately in America, means exported to America. We will write here. A will come capital. Okay, so I will just erase it. Now coming to next, early 19th century, growing interest in. Okay, so this first A paragraph and then definitely B paragraph we have done. Let's go to C paragraph. So C paragraph is like here. So nothing is early 19th century. So this person name is there, Mrs. Sarah Trimmer, guardian of education. Okay, this. Okay, so I am looking for early 19th word is here, so it is too easy to find it. Early 19th century we got growing interest in. So where their interest was, interest in folklore. But the greatest blow to the improving children book was to come from an unlikely source. Indeed, early 19th century interest in folklore, both nursery rhymes selected by this 1842 and collection of fairy stories by the scholarly. Okay, growing interest in, to be more children centered. So we can write growing interest in. Unlikely early century interest in folklore, but we are looking for growing. Both nursery rhymes selected by this folklore society in collection of fairy stories. Okay, so I guess nursery rhyme is also there and is also there. Both nursery rhymes selected by this for folklore society and collection, and yeah, we were looking for and collection of fairy stories. I will write it here. Growing interest in, where they growing interest in folklore, growing interest in, yes, folk. Growing interest in, direct word is there, so why I was folklore. Okay, so this folklore and fairy stories. See this here, sentence started with 19th century, growing interest in folklore. Both nursery rhymes we were looking for this word, for this fourth number, and so and word they have used is selected by James for a folklore society in 1842 and collection of fairy tales. So we have written fairy tales over here. Now coming to late 1930s. Okay, stories of Humphrey. Okay, late 19 Humphrey entertainment, and this person name should be there. Late 1930s. Okay, so 1930s is given. So here in E paragraph also and in D paragraph also nothing, no word is like 1930s. See this in this F paragraph, you also do it with me. So 1930s I can see here. Okay, this person name was also there. Let's look at the location again. Stories of Humphrey entertainment and Crompton novels. Okay, the final apotheosis of literary childhood as something to be protected from unpleasant reality. Unpleasant reality came with the arrival in the 1930s of child-centered bestsellers intent on entertainment at its in Britain novelist. Okay, so this person name is here. I will show it like that. So stories of Humphrey, everything I have got, nothing they have given. Stories of Humphrey, stories of late, the final literary childhood as something to be protected from unpleasant reality came with the arrival on entertainment at its most in Britain, who were always free to have unlikely adventure, the facts. So nothing, so You can read it full paragraph. If you find, then please let me know. Again, I am also not getting. So what I will do, I will leave this question. This is the last. Okay, maybe some part of E paragraph is missing. That's why I am not getting it here. So I will leave this question because it is consuming my time. Okay, now I will shift to next questions. Question 6 to 8. Look at the following and list of statements. Match each person with the correct statement. Okay. For list of people, how to do list of people? These three names are there in the reading passage, and these statements they have told about these persons, whatever they have told, these are the statements. We have to read it first, and then we will go to the location of these persons' name. Then we will read whether these statements who has told about it. So wrote criticism of children's literature. First we will be reading these statements, then we will go to the location. Wrote criticisms. Okay, criticism of children literature. Used animals to demonstrate the absurdity of fairy tales. Okay, was not a original writer originally. Okay, translated a book into English, didn't write in the English language. Okay, let's Thomas Boreham. So this name was on the first page. I will show it to you. So here Thomas Boreham. So let's read it what he is saying. In Britain, a London merchant named Thomas Boreham produced this. We don't know what is this. The Swedish giant in 1742, while more famous, published a little pricky. Okay, so it means he was merchant, not a writer. So was not a writer original. So I will go C with that. Okay, and I will cut my option that I have selected this. Okay, so let's I am selecting this originally. If I found something better, then I can change it. Now Mrs. Sarah Trimmer. So let's find about Mrs. Sarah. So she was on the another page. Okay, Mrs. Sarah is here in the next paragraph. So what she is saying was a dangerous diversion. Okay, prominent among such voices, Mrs. Sarah Trimmer, whose magazine carried the first regular reviews of children books. It was one who condemned fairy tales for their violence and general absurdity. Her own stories and fabulous histories describe talking animals who were always model of sense and decorum. So of course they are talking about animals also, but what she had done, she so here in the paragraph it was written, no, we will read like prominent among such voices, Mrs. Sarah, whose magazine this carried the first regular reviews. It was she who condemned, means she criticized fairy tales for their violence and general absurdity. Wrote criticisms of children literature. I will write this with B, with A number, with 7th. Okay, so I have selected A and C. Now Gramin Brothers. So Gramin Brothers, this name is in next paragraph, D paragraph. What they are saying, let's read. Okay, but the greatest blow to the improving children's book was to come from an unlikely source indeed, early 19th century interest in folklore. Okay, both nursery rhymes selected by James Hawaii for a folklore in 1842 and collection of fairy stories by the swiftly translated into English. He translated a book into English. Okay, any other thing? Both nursery rhymes selected by James for a collection of fairy tales by Gramin Brothers, swiftly translated in English into 18, soon rocket popularity with young. Okay, both nursery rhymes selected by this. Okay, soon translated, but it doesn't mean that he translated everything. So it means he was not he did not write in the English language. We can go with that E number. Okay, so definitely when we will read the statement, we will immediately write this translated a book into English. No. So both nursery rhymes selected by this person in 1842 and collection of fairy tale stories by the scholarly Gramin Brothers. Comma is there. if these brothers have done something, then something any other sentence structure would be there. So comma swiftly translated into English so we will write, did not write in English language. So here E will come. Okay, so that is the thing. Now coming to true, false, not given. Children didn't start to read books until 1700. How it is to be decided whether it is true, false, not given. So conditions according to the statement: if children did not start, they did not know how to read books and how to read children books and all, then definitely then true will be there. And if they know they know children books until 1700, then false will be there. And if they are not, writer is not describing about whether children were reading books or not, then it will be not given. So 1700 was in first paragraph. Okay, so let's read it, what they are saying. Stories and poems aimed at children have an exceedingly long history. For example, were sung in Roman times, and few nursery games and rhymes are almost as ancient. Yet so far written literature is concerned, while there were stories in print before, children often seized on when they had the chance, such as translation of this. It means what they were reading it. They knew how to they started reading books until 1700. It means it is false. Opposite information they have given. Here they are saying didn't start. Here they were saying that there were stories in print before 1700 that children often seized on when they had the chance, such as translation of this, fairy tales and popular ballads and romances. Okay, so it means false. Sarah Trimmer believed that children's books should get set example. Okay, this Sarah Trimmer, this is the location of Sarah Trimmer, was a dangerous. Okay, so prominent, yeah, it is here, children literature. So we were looking for children's book should get set examples. Here I think we should look for this. Critics saw contemporary means modern. Critics saw it that children's literature should be instructive and uplifting. Prominent among such voices, Mrs. Sarah, whose magazine carried the first regular views. It was she who condemned fairy tales for violence and all, described talking animals who were models of belief. So where she is believing, so I think it is not given. Nothing, she has not described anything should set examples. No, this is not given. So 11th, no, should set examples. Should set example about it. Was a dangerous diversion, contemporary, should is also there. So before that, so prominent among such voices, it means she was also supporting this sentence. Children book should set examples. Instructive and uplifting, it was she condemned story, her stories described talking animals who were always models of sense and decorum. So I think I will go with true now. I understood. This is not, because everything they have given. She believed because she was also critics, and this line is also saying should be instructive and uplifting, and here animals who were always models of sense and decorum. So I will go with true. Now 11th is parents were concerned about the violence in children's book. Okay, violence is there, but here parents are not there. Okay, so they are talking about Sarah and other contemporary critics. So I will go with not given. Now 12th, an interest in the folklore changed the direction of development of children's book. An interest in the folklore. Folklore word was in earlier paragraphs. So see this. So this paragraph also, yeah, folklore is here. Yes. An interest in the folklore changed the direction of the development of children's book. Okay, yes, I will read it from here. But the greatest blow to the improving children's book was to come from an unlikely source indeed. early 19th century interest in folklore. So it means true. See this, I will show you the location. An interest in the folklore changed the direction of development of children's books. See this. But the greatest blow to the improving children's book was to come from an unlikely source indeed, early 19th century interest in folklore. So I will go with true. Now 13th number is, today's children's book writers believe their work should appeal to both children and adults. Okay, today. So last paragraph we will be looking in this. Children literature such as, okay, where is today? What eventually determined the reading of older children was often not the availability of special children's literature as such, but access to books that contained characters such as young people or animals with whom they could more easily empathize, or actions such as exploring or fighting that made few demands on adult maturity or understanding. But I am looking for today's children book writers believe. Where is writer? Children, okay, soon rocket, okay, from now, okay, leading to new editions, each one more centered. From now on, younger children could expect stories written for particular interest and with the needs of their own limited. What eventually determined the reading of older children was often not literature as such, access to books that contain characters such as young people or whom they emphasize, or action. No, another paragraph is left or not? Just a minute. Yes, see this last paragraph, here writers. That's why I was just looking why they are not using here. I was reading only E paragraph and G paragraph is also there. See this, that writers of these works are now often recommended to the attentions of adult as well as child readers. Echo is the 19th century. So my question was, see this, today children book writers believe their work should appeal to both children and adults. So this is also true. See this full sentence, today that writers of these works are now often recommended to attentions of adult as well as child readers. So this we have done. This true also, I have shown it to you. This also, parents are not there. Everything is there but not parents. So here believe children's book should set good example. So here they have written children's literature should be instructive and uplifting. So for that I have written true here. Okay, thank you so much.